Hello, welcome back to Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna do something fun, basically working on the idea of creating recursive and procedural geometry. So this was inspired by this tutorial actually by Blender Campus. I highly recommend you to have a look at this one, and it is using Blender Python or BPY to do the job. It's kind of interesting. There's some kind of loop and recursive idea. Definitely check it out. And I'm gonna close this. So basically, it's not so complicated, and the whole node setup looks something like this. But I will start from scratch, basically. Okay, and so yeah, we're gonna do the pyramid thing and save this as SV Recursive Pyramid. So go to compositing, and we're gonna be using a cylinder for what we're doing. So cylinder, and then use the viewer draw and have a look. So by default, cylinder gives you cylinder, but you can turn this into pyramid by simply making the top 0 radius and then the bottom 4 vertices. Of course, if you want, you can rotate it, but I don't need to do that. And the height, just set it to 1, so we have like some kind of a 1 unit pyramid. Okay, so let's create our recursive. So in this case, the idea is not, it's not like recursive yet, but at some point we can use like a monad to do recursive thing. And there's a little bit of math where the objects needs to go it needs to go in different value for each recursions. But for now, we don't need to worry about that. Just simply gonna duplicate this pyramid. So we have a single pyramid there, but we can have multiple pyramids simply by joining multiple vector. And we can use list item if you like. Okay, not list item, but list input. And we can have we can do it like this for simplicity if we like. So we need 5 vector. So it's totally up to you whether you want to use this list join and then multiple vector. I can give you the example for both, but let's see how it goes with this setup. So we have a single pyramid simply at 0, 0, 0, right? We can move it. So that's one pyramid. The next pyramid, it needs to be 4 pyramid, and it should be placed at this position at every point of this pyramid. So for that we can use list join. So this is the second one. We need to join level list 2. And for the second one, it's actually pretty simple. We just need to move it down -1 unit, and then move it 1 unit to the in X. So that's the whole idea. Pretty simple. We can keep doing that. So move 1 unit down, and then move it in X or Y. Simply by doing that, we have one kind of like a recursion. Actually, not yet recursion, because recursion itself, by meaning in programming, is that it's calling functions on itself. So it's like if you have like this as 1 unit, you want to call the functions on itself again and again. So like I said, you can use this multiple vector in, or just a single list input and then plug it there. So we can do this very quickly simply by putting the number. So you can see the pattern very easily. This is the pattern that gives this pyramid kind of setup. Okay, so you can use a list input if you like, but I will be using this because later on when I turn this into a monad and actually doing the recursions, we're gonna need this one because this guy doesn't have input. This one we can accept special input there. Okay, so let's continue. If we want to do recursions on this guy, and we probably need to join it into a single object for the next recursion, for the next process. So in order to do that, we're gonna use apply matrix and select the second one, and we're gonna put our basic unit and then the matrix. So it's gonna be joined automatically. We don't need this anymore. As a result, we're gonna have this guy. If we bake it, it's a single object. It's pretty cool. So we can do this over and over again. Let's do it like 2 or 3 or 4 times, so you get a hang of it. So basically, so this is the setup. We can simply copy this guy, duplicate it, and this is gonna be the next unit. But for this guy, we need to change the unit. Instead of 1 here, it needs to be 2. 2 minus 2, and then so it's gonna be minus 2 down. So this can minus 2 minus 2. This is gonna be 2. So now we have this pyramid. So that's pretty cool, right? We can keep doing this. Actually, it's pretty fun to do this kind of a chaining. Kind of, I call it like a chain reactions. There's another name for it. So 1, 2, 3. Do it. Let's do the same thing. This is gonna be the next one, and this one goes in there. And we have this pyramid, but it's not yet complete, right? This guy now need to go down minus 4 units, so it's like double.